I look awful this morning, but it's day 4. I finished 60% of this last night. I mainly listen on an audiobook. I think it needs to be listened to. Julia Armfield has a very poetic way of writing, and I tried reading the first chapter just on print, and I was like, I can't follow these sentences. But then you listen to someone else say them, and you're like, oh, that tracks. That's better. I It reminds me of that this book so far, 60% in. Reminds me of the really old Fairly Odd Parents thing where they're at Escalator Land, and he's like, when do we get to the ride? This is the ride. That's what I feel like. Because when do we get to the point? And I feel bad. Okay, so I think maybe I'm just dumb. I think this book might be smarter than me, because it's clearly future dystopia world is basically underwater. Their dad is an absolute cunt. All of them are gay. All 3 daughters are gay. And they have a very fraught relationship because the first 2 have the same mom and the last one does not. And their mom was the third's mom was the other woman, and then now she's missing. They don't know what the other mom is. I don't know. I don't care that much, and that's the other part. Is I don't like any of them bitches. All of them are kind of awful. And again, that's probably the point, and I'm probably stupid. I'm in part 2. There's a lot more POVs in part 2. The first one is mainly just the 3 sisters' POVs. And then part 2 has their significant others and stuff as kind of an outside perspective of man, these girls are messed up. But I don't know. I'll finish it today though. That's doable. So I'll finish that. I'll probably pick up Pride or Die at some point today. I don't have a lot of plans. It looks like it's nice outside today. The only thing we have to do is we have to put on my new tire because of obvious reasons. And then, yeah, so that's it. So yeah, that's not a problem to be able to finish that today and start Pride or Die. And then I have Chlorine on ebook and audiobook in case I need an audiobook for later in the week when I go out. I did see, because today's technically Prime Day, starting the businesses that kind of compete with Amazon releasing their stuff. So Barnes & Noble is doing their pre-order sale, and they've got a bunch of online stuff. And I respect that. I want to do something in person. So I'm still probably going to go to Barnes & Noble on Thursday, but they most of their sales are virtual this week, again, for obvious reasons. So I'm going to read this for a little bit. I'll get back at you when I'm actually finished with it and let you know my final thoughts. See if I ended up liking it. It is miserably hot outside. I've only had to go out for 2 reasons. I went to walk Nimoy earlier, and I just went to check the mail and get groceries. It's so hot and humid. I'm breathing in the air, and it's thick like a blanket. It's gonna have to rain because this has got to break at some point. I'm so close. It looks the exact same to you all, but I promise I'm a lot further along than it looks. I haven't listened to a lot today, though, because I've been editing the first vlog that's going to go up tomorrow. And so that's taken most of the day, and I'll probably work on it a little bit more tonight. But right now, I can't keep looking at my computer. I got to read this. I did post the picture for today on Instagram. I was pretty proud of that thing. It looks really neat. I decided not to do a pumpkin pie. They had pumpkin cookie mix, and I'm not basic that I like pumpkin spice and everything, but also if you like pumpkin spice, you like pumpkin spice. I really just like pumpkin pie, and I like things that taste like pumpkin pie, but a lot of pumpkin flavored things end up being too dry. They don't taste good, and I'm like, okay, you didn't do the pumpkin pie spice part, but this looks like it's going to be, it has some potential. I do have extra pumpkin pie spice in my cabinet. Come here. No? Okay. And so I can kind of dress it up a little bit. I also got the ingredients to make Steven's cake for his birthday. All but a pan, but I think I've got an extra one in the cabinet. So I'm going to finish this. Actually, I might feed, good Lord, I can't speak. That he's gotten in my brain. I may finish this physically instead of on audiobook because I only have a little bit left. And when I get to like 80% of a book being done, I just kind of feel slow listening to it on audiobook. Like it almost is like I could do this quicker on my own. So either way, hey Looney, I'll be finished with this soon. I tell you one thing, he better not roll up here and expect me to go out and change that tire right now in this heat. I was ready this morning at 9 to change the tire when it wasn't like a billion degrees higher than hell out here. So let me finish this book. I'm excited though because that would mean in 4 days, Jesus Christ, I finished 3 books. Maybe. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? It's not bad, but okay. Oh, Julia Armfield and your water-based speculative fiction dystopians, I guess. Stuff makes more sense at the end, but then the end also doesn't make sense. So I think there's symbolism here I'm not getting and I'm not smart enough to get. And that is fair, Julia. You caught me lacking. That is not your fault. Not a bad book. I just don't think it's the book for me, which is sad. I did like Our Wives Under the Sea, and again, I like the vibes. I just don't like feeling that stupid. I don't like feeling that stupid. But that's 3 books. That's 3 books read. This is on for over a year, so the only thing I have left is read a manga, novella, or audiobook, and technically I've gotten that challenge twice now. But I am going to start Pride or Die on my Kindle. I don't have any more physical books left besides The Ones Who Come Back Hungry, which is like my backup book. So I'm going to start Pride or Die on my Kindle, and then I'll probably start listening to Chlorine on an audiobook this evening when I play Animal Crossing. I've also decided that I'm going to... I've decided I'm going to post the video tonight, so I might just finish editing that video, get the captions done, get all that done, and post it this evening, because it's pretty long, and I don't really want to put day 4 in there. I just want to do 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll do 4, 5, and 6, and wrap up, or whatever. Yeah. You don't need to know. You don't care. But that's what I'm going to do. Not that it'll matter. Again, by the time you see this, the other video will have already been posted. Later than I intended, but also, you know what? It'll be alright. I'm going to make this breathe and ASMR again. Because Steven is over there. But I've listened to about 30% of Chlorine. And I really like it. I would listen to more. But I'm tired. I want to go to bed, but I like the back and forth and references kind of to what's going to happen at the end, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen at the end. Anyway, I posted my video today, and I've read that, so I'll probably finish Chlorine tomorrow while I prep for Steven's birthday stuff, but we're going to be out and about tomorrow, so I might not finish it. We'll see. It kind of depends on what we do and when we do it. But that's day 3, 4? That's day 4 done. Wow, day 4. So, I'm tired. Somebody named Nimoy was up last night with like bathroom stuff. Yeah, I'm telling on you. And so I didn't get a lot of sleep. We went to Waffle House for Steven's birthday this morning. But, like, I need a nap. I need a nap real bad. We went on a search for, like, an Xbox. But they don't have any physically anywhere. And, I haven't read anything today, obviously. Day, 5? I haven't read anything. I think what I'm going to do is post the picture on Instagram for the day 5 challenge, which is skies on the cover. And then I'm probably going to let myself succumb to this nap. And eventually, if he'll leave, I'll cook his birthday cake, just carrot cake. there's not much else going on. I mean, like I said, I finished about 30, almost 40% of Chlorine. I really like the descriptions of swimming and like how sort of like part of her it felt, and like the chlorine getting into her bloodstream and her always smelling like chlorine and stuff. Uh, I'm interested to see how it gets from clearly what is her at the beginning of the book being like, I have achieved my final form, but like I once was a girl. Like, what does she mean? Um, but I really like the way it's written. It's written very well. It's narrated very well, and it's been going pretty quick. I have not started Pride or Die. I may read that today. I don't know. It depends. It also looks like it's gonna rain. I know you can't tell. There's Tim. I know you can't tell from the window, but it looks like it's clouding up, and it might rain this afternoon. I don't know, but if I don't take at least like a 30-minute power nap, I'm not gonna be able to function. So when I wake up, maybe I'll be able to be more productive and make a birthday cake. I think I'll pick up his presents from the post office too, but they don't open till 2 o'clock, so I'll just sleep till then. Here's what's going to happen. It is currently 4:17. Steven has left the house to go hang out with his dad and do something, so I finally have time to do his birthday stuff. So I'm going to go cook a carrot cake. If I feel so inclined, I'm going to cook the pumpkin cookies that I got as well to get the like fall-related treat thing out of the way. I also have to wrap all of his presents, but I also have to fix the video that I like spent all day editing yesterday because of a like copyright claim on the free music, which is my favorite thing ever. So I'm going to do all that in the next probably hour. And I'll listen to Chlorine while I do it. I did start Pride or Die. I managed to do like a chapter, and it's just kind of setting up who the characters are and what's going on. And it's basically like a less than functioning LGBTQ plus club or gay club on campus. There's a murder. That's all I know. That's all I know. I've read books with this premise before. It apparently is a very big thing to put your queer clubs through horror-related trauma. But it's always kind of fun to see what they do with it. Anyway, I'm going to listen to Chlorine, get a little further in that while I do all this baking and wrapping of presents. So, let's go. I made the world's ugliest cookies. I'm not kidding. I added this one doesn't look bad. I guess this is the wrong one to show you that they look bad, but they do. Trust me when I tell you they look bad. I'm not good at recipes that involve using softened butter because it feels like I just end up making like slightly wet sand and then nothing's incorporated the way it needs to. So we had some that had too much butter and so they basically became like crispy, and then we had some that were fine and did like this and melted how much they were supposed to. They're good though. I mean, they taste like pumpkin. The frosting was a good call. I got cream cheese just in case. But I ended up having extra vanilla from Steven's carrot cake, birthday cake. I just put vanilla on it. So there, it's a fall treat. So it's another bingo thing marked off. I've also read about 14-15% of Pride or Die, and I like the tone. Like the voice is very funny. It feels like a teenager is talking. But probably the funniest thing so far, like there's been an attack. And popular girl cheerleader Kinley has been attacked, and Eleonora and the rest of the BLT club, the LGBT club, is trying to figure out who attacked her because she had like a 1 carved on her head to figure out who the next people are and so they can get their club back. Anyway, the funniest part is like her the main character's interactions with Kinley. It reminds me of like Meet the Robinsons, where like the villain character remembered being like bullied as a kid, but like everyone else was like being nice to him the whole time. That's what it feels like. Like Kinley's just genuinely being nice, and like the main character is like, she's so duplicitous, and this is the exact kind of two-faced behavior she's known for. I'm like, what? It's just, I don't know, it makes it very funny to read. But they're also very silly. And as a teacher who has sponsored a gay club before, it definitely sounds like a bunch of my students trying to figure out some kind of mystery and being kind of ridiculous about it. But it's late. I'm gonna eat this cookie. I'll probably try to get to like 25% on that one. I'm about 70% of the way through chlorine, and it's really good, but I think it's gonna break my heart. Like, I'm feeling so bad for this main character and the stuff that's happening to her. I probably could finish it tonight, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wait and listen to it while running my errands tomorrow. But I probably will finish it tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna, again, eat this cookie, read a little bit more of my book, and go to bed. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. Another day, another wet head. I am about to head to town. It is gross today. Like, it's overcast and cloudy, and it's going to be rainy. I do have a raincoat in my car just in case, but I'm going to hope that I can avoid the rain for most of this journey. I really don't have that many places to go. I have that box I have to drop off at David's, but they don't open till 11, so I'm probably going to go to Barnes & Noble first. That's Ludi. I'm probably going to go to Barnes & Noble first, see what they've got there. I don't really have anything in mind to buy, so I might not get anything. I need to go to Michael's to pick up a couple of things for my sister's baby shower, and then if the spirit hits me, I'll go some other places. But I really don't want to be out and about too long. It is Thursday, so we do have trivia tonight, and by we, I mean me. Steven's got stuff he has to do for the local community theater, so it's just going to be me and whatever teachers show up to be on my team. And hopefully we'll do better than last time when we were third place. But, you know, I made my own coffee this morning. It's fine. I just don't want to have to stop and get breakfast. I don't want to deal with the traffic there where the Dunkin' is. Maybe get myself a sweet treat on the way out of town. Maybe. The thing about David's, though, that's the big one for this trip because I have a big tub of books to take back, and I already have $15 worth of store credit. Now, I just went back like a month ago. I haven't been since, I think, June like 8th. So I doubt they've had that much turnover of like merchandise and stuff since then. But I'll check out their new, new release section, like the newer things all go in one section. And I'll probably check out the horror section and maybe the classics. And just do a sweep and see if there's anything I want. Otherwise, I'll probably just keep the credit and wait until like Christmas time when I go buy gifts for my family. Because I usually can find books for them there. But I will be listening to Chlorine on the way there and back probably because it's easier to do that. I will likely finish Chlorine today. I had to actively stop myself from finishing it yesterday because it was so good. But I don't have another audiobook after that, so I need to keep that so I have something to listen to when I do activities. I finished, like I said, about 13% of Pride or Die. I didn't end up reading any more of that. I do think that one's going to take me down to the wire. For some reason, I just can't, I can't get through that very quickly, which is fine. I don't want to, like, rush through all my books, but, like, that one is, I think it's going to take me some time. But let me go about my journey. I'll take you with me, at least in part, and hopefully get a book finished, because we're on day, 5? We're on day 5. We got technically 2 more. I think I can do it. Okay. That was successful. I didn't have to pay anything because I had credit. I'm pretty sure the credit stuff was a little bit off, but I have like $4 or $5 left after buying what I did today, and I think I was pretty successful. I found some pretty good picks. I'm excited. Of course, I'll show you when I get home, and there's actually like consistent air conditioning. But now it's 12:38. I think I am gonna have to go get something to eat so I don't pass out. I felt myself like when I was leaning over looking at books, I was like, ooh, you need to eat or get like water or something. So I'm gonna go figure that out, and then I'll be back at the house. And I have not been listening to Chlorine. I have in fact been listening to just music on Spotify. So I'm gonna listen to Chlorine now because I'm on the way home. Chapter 15 of Chlorine. There's something about reading what you've had a dawning awareness is going to happen for a while. Like her wanting to be a mermaid, and like she's talking about her transformation. She's learning how to sew, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, she's going to sew her legs together. And actually reading it, I'm gobsmacked. I had to like pause. I'm like, I need to be home. I need to be in my house and listen to this because this is unhinged. Jesus Christ. Oh man. Okay, I am home. And I've got to figure out a picture for Instagram. I need a picture of a book in nature, I guess. Oh my God, I'm still not over some of the descriptions just yet. I didn't even finish the chapter. I was like, I'll come back to it. Good Lord. All right, let's do a haul of things I got while I was out today. So the very first thing I did was went to TJ Maxx just to see if they had like the Summerween stuff up. They don't have a lot at my local one, so I thought maybe I'd get lucky. And they had some interesting stuff, but nothing I was like, oh, okay, Nimoy. Until I haven't been home. All right. I love you. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, 2 seconds. But they didn't really have anything that was like, I need to spend money on this. So then I thought, hey, I'll go to Home Goods because we definitely don't have one of those here. This is the only place that's local that has a Home Goods. I'll check out Home Goods. I've never been. Mainly I wanted to find this blanket that I'd seen on TikTok that was like ghost reading books. It was very cute. Couldn't find that. But I did find this Chiltern of Sense and Sensibility. I have this one in Pride and Prejudice, Picture of Dorian Gray, and Frankenstein. $16. It like retails for like 25 plus at Barnes and Noble. So I got this. And in hindsight, I should have got the Wuthering Heights they had as well, but I was like, I won't be greedy, but like $16 is actually a pretty good deal for this. So another book for that collection. It's like up here on this shelf at the end over here. You can't see it, but. And then I got, because they did have Halloween out, and they had some really cool stuff. They had like the pastel, like beachy stuff. They had some more classically scary things, but I got this from Martha Stewart. Like, shut up. It's got little, it's not like black sand, but it's like, I don't know. It's really cool. Yeah, it was $20. I'm not like proud of the money I spent on it, but it looks so neat. And I've got like gold snakes all over the place in here, so it'll be neat, a little accent somewhere on my shelves. So then I went to Barnes & Noble because they were open. Of course, they didn't really have any sales that were like interesting or helpful to me. Like they had books there that I would like, but I'm not going to pay full price for stuff. Not for paperbacks. The whole store is paperbacks. Like, if I'm going to pay that much money, I might as well buy a hardcover. Anyway, hey, Pep. I got another of the mini penguins, where I've got like a tiny little stack there, right there. And this is Anton Chekhov's About Love, but I just knew that it was a light green I didn't have. So, they didn't have any purple ones. I decided if they had purple, I was going to get a purple one to finish the rainbow out, but they didn't. But 2 light greens will work. Michael's was also really disappointing. I did find one thing. It was on sale. It is this bisexual ass cup with a bunch of black cats on it. Had to. And if I can get Pepper out of my container of books, I'll show you what I got from David's. So I wouldn't say I got like the best haul ever, but I did get a bunch that I didn't think I'd find at David's. I got this Harold and the Purple Crayon for my sister, for my niece, for her shower. We have like an OG copy of this that's like falling apart that my husband Steven, it belonged to like his dad when he was little, so that's cool. I found Cymbeline, but it's a Folgers, and I don't have this one, so I'm going to put it on my Folger shelf. If you hear noise in the background, there's wrapping paper, so the cats are playing with the wrapping paper. I found Riley Redgate's Noteworthy, which I believe I have a hardcover copy of this somewhere, but either way, I can put it in my classroom library. I found The Coldest Touch and Just Mercy, and both of these are also going to my classroom library. I have a copy of this. The kids like it, so I thought I'd get a second copy. And I want a couple of extra copies of this on hand for when we do AP Lit, to have a nonfiction to read. I found a weird bind-up of like pulp novels, like detective novels. Sure, why not? That's just something kind of silly to have on hand, and I can read a couple of those, like a short story collection. I found Crossing Ebenezer Creek, which is a historical fiction, like YA, and this has been on like Book Outlet. I've had this in my wish list for a while, and I think it's a sad story about something that happened kind of during the Civil War. And I also found another Book Outlet TBR, The Replacements, which is about like a changeling child. This is pretty cool for Summerween. Again, just love that I found some that I've had online. I've never seen them physically, but I found them physically. And then the last one is When You Trap a Tiger, which I've heard good things about as far as a middle grade, and always looking for some hard-hitting middle grade. So I'll read this, and then I'll probably put it in my classroom, because you never know when someone's going to want to read it. That's it. That's the haul. I feel pretty good about David's. That was good. They had a couple others that I would have liked to have, but there was no real reason to get them. I either have copies of them in other formats, or I didn't really need a second copy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go outside with one of my books. I've already taken a picture of Private Rights. I'll probably do Vampires of El Norte and take a picture in nature before it starts raining, because that's what it looks like it's about to do. But it's kind of looked like that all day, so that's not really, it's not really saying much. And then I'm probably going to finish Chlorine, because like I said, it's gotten into the thick of things, and I need to know what's going to go on, because there's like, we're at like 70-something% through, so what happens in the last 30%? I don't know. We're going to find out together. I took a nap. Turns out I'm like useless at reading challenges. I am about same amount through with Chlorine. I haven't read Pride or Die at all today. That's my car telling me I need to change my engine oil, which, given that my fucking tire blew out this week, maybe I need to stop like playing with fate with that. I'm heading to Trivia now at 6 o'clock, so that gives me time to like, they've got a really good food truck. Makes like the best like tacos and nachos and stuff, with like pork barbecue. It's so good. But I can go and kind of chill out, talk with my coworkers, and like complain that summer goes too fast, and then head to, well, not head to, but like gather ourselves for the group. I'm nervous because you only have 6 people. Last week we had too many, and I think that's why we lost. We had to split ourselves up a little bit, and then our new coworker is really smart. Her and her husband like locked in, and so their team won, and like good. We love having a smarty pants on the team for the future. It's not good when there's so many of us that we have to split up. And Steven can't come tonight, so it's just me. So we might be okay. We'll see. I've always wanted to try doing it by myself to see how good I can do, but I don't think that's going to happen tonight. I think enough people are going to be there tonight to be able to play. So let me go get some food. Obviously, I cannot record you during, like, I cannot bring you with me during trivia, because you can't have your phones out. We only did that once, and we like asked our coworker who does the trivia, we're like, hey, can we have the phone up so we can watch the Carolina Hurricanes game? And he allowed us to do that. But I'll just keep you posted for how it goes afterward, and let you know how our team does. I have hope, but I don't know. I always get nervous beforehand, as if the random trivia is going to suddenly leave my head. But let me head that way. I'm about to starve. is the penultimate day of the challenge. I have slept in a little bit later than I wanted this morning, and I never updated last night because there was like the thunderstorm from hell trying to drive home. Like the minute trivia ended, like the bottom fell out. I was like, okay, cool, I'll just hang out at the bar till it passes. It was just bands of rain. So driving home sucked. I did not listen to Chlorine on the way home because I was like, I'm not going to be able to focus on the book because I'm trying to focus on not hydroplaning off the road. So I've still got about 92%. I'm finished. I'm on like the next to last chapter on that. And then I didn't read any of Pride or Die yesterday. So today, I need to sit my ass down and read Pride or Die. I don't have anything else going on. We may go to town and get breakfast in a little bit, but like that's it. That's all I gotta do. Is just read the book. I can't think of anything else I would do today. I gotta go pick up some stuff for my sister's shower. That came in the mail. But that's it. Still really excited about winning trivia last night. It was, we were in, I believe, I want to say second place or third place after the first round. We were definitely in second place after the second round. But the special category was director's cut, and it was like 3 movie titles together, and you had to say what the director was. So like Saving Schindler If You Can was Spielberg, and was it Spielberg? Either way, my friend Kate was on my team, and she was like on it, which I knew a lot of them. I wrote down Stanley Kubrick for the one that was Stanley Kubrick, because it was like Eyes Shining Orange or something. But she was quick with it, and she knew them, and so we cleaned out, got the full credit for that category, and it tied us with her first. And then the last category, we like nailed it. We got like maybe one question. It was great. Yeah, it was a fun time. We had so many teachers there that we had to have 3 teams, so we were on the 3rd team of teachers. But yeah, pretty nice. They don't have trivia again for 2 more weeks because the trivia guy is going on vacation, but I was thinking about, we usually call ourselves the tired teachers. If we have to break into 2 teams next time, have a team called the exhausted educators. I think they'd go for that. Anyway, I'm going to go read. If I actually do anything today, I'll let you know, but I don't think I'm doing anything. I don't think I'm doing anything productive today. Honestly, it's a good Lego day. It's overcast and cloudy, and I don't think it's supposed to be nice today. So, me again, hanging out with my girl Ludi. She just wants to cuddle. Makes it hard to read, but she's real cute. I finished like 25% of Pride or Die. It's definitely more investigative right now than it is like any kind of horror slasher thing. So I don't know who's getting attacked next, but somebody needs to, or I'm gonna get bored. Not that I, wish evil on these people, but I thought this was supposed to be like a horror novel. It is currently, I don't have my watch on. It's charging, but it's not quite 4 o'clock yet. You're just so spoiled. I am enjoying a snack of popcorn and a cherry cola Celsius. I'm addicted. So good. But we're gonna go to a baseball game this evening. We had a friend reach out and she's like, "Hey, there's a double header with a local team. I was gonna go." And I'm like, "Yeah, a hot dog is calling me by my full government name. I really need to go to a baseball game and enjoy a hot dog in public." So we're gonna leave in a little bit and kind of get ready to go, and then we're gonna go to the game. We'll probably only stay for one game, not both. Which means I'll read when I come back. I have not finished Chlorine either, but I think tomorrow will be a decent reading day. I still am feeling a little nervous about getting everything read, but I think if I finish Chlorine, I'll have met all the challenges. I just won't have read everything on my TBR, which is fine by me. But we'll see. Oh, my sweet girl. We'll see. So we were home from the game. It was a doubleheader, but it was 7:40 when the first game ended, and we were like, we don't want to stay here till 11 o'clock. They were really good, and it was vibes. It was so nice. I'm not mad because that means it's now 8:15 that we're actually at home at about the time they said the next game was going to start. So, uh, I've got a little over 3 hours left of Pride or Die. So far, nothing else has happened besides the gay club, the BLT club, continuing to get in trouble. And as someone who works in a school system, the way the principal is acting is not, there's no way. I don't care how Hicksville your town is. Someone is being like, the cheerleader was attacked. Run me those cameras. Run me those cameras. So I'm hoping it's addressed the fact that like no one in her immediate family and no one else has been like trying to figure out what actually happened to her. That they're fine with the principal just prosecuting these teenagers on absolutely zero evidence and like holding them on academic probation. Like I don't know. It's a lack of believability, and that's fine. I just think if you're gonna set your stuff in a school, you got to root it in a little bit of reality. And again, maybe just be me being biased as someone who works in a school. Um, but I really thought it was going to be more slashery. And we're about 30% through the way of the book, and it's just been the one attack and them trying to fumble around and figure out who might have done it and why. So I'm going to try to get through it tonight. I still only have like the 10% left of Chlorine, but I know that I like Chlorine, and I'd rather end on a book that I know I like rather than ending on Pride or Die. So Chlorine is probably going to get finished tomorrow, just so it can be the last book I read. And hopefully I can get through the majority of Pride or Die tonight while I like catch up on YouTube videos. So it's 8:15. Let's see how far I can get till about midnight, and I think that's what I'm going to call it. Cross your fingers, because it's right now it's a little bit of a struggle. Good morning. It is a monster movie Saturday for the last day of Summerween. I have an hour and 30 minutes left on Pride or Die. I'm trying to be a little bit more forgiving about the way adults act in this book, because I think if I was a kid reading this, I'd be like, yeah, you're right. Adults never listen. So like I need to kind of get off my high horse about it. But I got my Jaws shirt on, and Jurassic Park is on TV. So we're having a great time. Ludi is hanging out here with me. Or now she's not, I guess. I think that I'll probably finish this by noon with an hour and a half, and it's currently 10:11. And then I'll just finish Chlorine, and I can do some like cleaning while I listen to the like last chapter of that book, and then I will be completely done. Can wrap it up. Can make my final video and final like posts on Instagram. There's some stuff, the bingo card I don't think I did. The reading outside, we're going to have to go on a technicality for that, because I think I had like my Kindle up yesterday sitting in the car, but it is ungodly hot. I can't hang outside. And I never made it to the pool because the weather was bad, and or we had plans. And I would go today, but we do have a dinner date with like my friend. It's her birthday, and so her husband's cooking. So we're just gonna go hang there. So I don't feel like getting in the pool all day and then having to go do that. So I guess I'll show you kind of what I did of the bingo card here. I'll like check off what I actually did accomplish. I think I made bingo at least once, if I can remember correctly. And then I just got to get these 2 books done. Now, did I get everything done on my TBR? No, because I had the Ones Who Come Back Hungry on there. But again, that was kind of an extension bonus book. I've gotten everything done for the challenges. And that's all that matters to me. So I'm going to finish my coffee. There's not much left of it. And finish this book. And then I'll wrap everything up in a little while. Honestly, the most consistent thing this week has been the fact that she's been involved in reading no matter where I am. It's a good kitten. I've got 37 minutes left of this book. It's 11:47. Gina, I'm going to finish this book before you get here to visit. I'm going to finish this book because I don't want to be still reading this damn book when you get here. And I had to clean up a little bit because this house is a mess. So I've got about an hour. I can finish 37 minutes in an hour. I'm watching The Outer Limits. Everybody else is asleep in the house. It's nice and quiet and peaceful, but I don't really care about the end of the book. I don't really care about the end of the book. And I hate that. Because I like the idea of it. But I'm going to finish it. I am. I did it. I finished Pride or Die. And then I finished Chlorine. It's 12:43 on the very last day of Summerween, and I'm done. I think this was decently successful. I think I definitely enjoyed some books more than others. I guess I'll wrap up here. First book I finished was With a Vengeance. It was not the worst Riley Sager I've read. I do think parts were predictable. And it got a little bit like, and another thing at the end, but I'm not mad at it. I do think it opens a nice door that he may want to consider with letting this character be kind of his like Miss Marple, Hercule Poirot kind of thing. Like it was very hinted that she should join like the FBI and whatever. I think that would be kind of interesting to see if he could do this again with the same lead. She was interesting, but not bad. Solid, maybe like 3.5, 4 of a book. And that was for Listen in the Dark, right? Let me get my sheet, actually. Yeah, let me get my cheat sheet out. So that was Listen to a Book in the Dark, because I mainly listened to that while I was playing Animal Crossing and occasionally when I did my Lego stuff. The next book I finished was Vampires of El Norte, and that one was for Sky on the Cover, was Vampires of El Norte. That one, solid 5 stars. It wasn't particularly horror, and it wasn't really scary, but it was really good. Like, character-wise, I enjoyed the yearning, I enjoyed the atmosphere, I enjoyed the sort of historical nature of it, so that was good. It was good for me, so that one was a 5 star. The next book I finished was Private Rights, and that was for a book you've owned for over a year. That's like a solid 3. I think the ending saved it just because the ending was batshit, but I liked it better as audiobook, and that one technically could have been for one of the other challenges for that too. I mainly listened on audiobook, and then I read the ending physically, but Julia Armfield has such like very poetic writing that you kind of need to hear it out loud, and that just worked for me. I don't know. Again, it's probably going to be about a 3. I'm going to read her stuff again. This isn't like it killed her for me, but I don't think it's going to be everyone's cup of tea. And I didn't look up a lot of reviews beforehand, so I have no idea if I'm the like, that's the norm or if I'm the outlier. But either way, that was the third one I read. The very next one I finished was for, let's see, thriller and horror, right? Yeah? Yeah. Thriller and horror. Thriller/horror. I read Pride or Die. Don't know that I would necessarily call it a thriller or a horror. It was kind of just a YA contemporary disguised as a mystery. Like, even in the end, they're like, oh, no one else was ever going to get murdered. Well, like, okay, well, waste my time, 2K25, I guess. It's fine. It was fine. The end wrapped up real nice, pretty little bow. It's a YA. I don't expect it to be too complex, but I don't think it's going to go high on my recommend list for kids, which is sad because I was hoping it would. I just think some of it was like mischaracterized. I feel like some of the adults and the kids were just like, that's not how that would work. That's not how that would work. So that one's probably only like a 2.5, maybe a 3 if I'm being very, very generous. But that one was for thriller/horror. Again, sure, it was kind of a false promises for the TBR, but it worked. And then the very last one I finished was Chlorine, and that was for a novella, a manga, or an audiobook, and I listened to that one fully on audio, and so that was for the audiobook. I'm gonna give Chlorine, I just finished it. I want to give it like a 5, but I don't know if I fully want to give it a 5. I'm still not sure. I like the ending. I like the ambiguity of it. I like the transformational nature of the text. I like that I don't really know the truth of what happened. I like that I don't really know fully what's supposed to be symbolized, so I can kind of project my own interpretations onto it. It was horrific. The body horror section was horrific. Everything that happened to this character up till then was horrific. It's probably going to be a 4.5 or a 5. Just for vibes alone. It's a lot like Vampires of El Norte. The vibes save it in the end. But that's everything I read. So I finished everything on my TBR except the bonus book, but I had a feeling I wasn't going to get to that one anyway. I'd like to say I feel successful, and this is through no fault of the challenge, but I didn't pick enough horror books this time. I did not pick enough spooky books. I picked a bunch of like fool me once, fool me twice, like horror books. None of these were really horrific. I would have liked to read more like scary stories, and now I'm kind of sad that I didn't do more research into looking at what I have in my library that were scary books. So that's on me. I still had a great time. I always really enjoy this challenge and like posting pictures and seeing what other people are reading. A lot of us were reading similar stuff. I saw Vampires of El Norte a bunch of times. I saw Chlorine a bunch. Like everyone's kind of reading similar stuff, so that's pretty cool to know you're experiencing it with other folks. The only thing I have left to do now is post the Instagram collage for today. It's like I'll post a picture of the stuff you read. So I'll probably post a book stack and then do the, like, they have a template where you put your books in. I'll make that. But I might do that after you leave, Gina, because, you know, you're the main person I make these for. You're coming over in a little bit, so I'll probably do that afterward. Right now, I'm going to, I don't know, probably pick up Juniper and Thorn again, since I was reading that before the challenge. Might as well finish it now. And then I'm seeking recommendations for horror to read for the rest of the summer, because I need to read some spooky books. I did not get my fill of spooky books and murder mysteries and thrillers, so please, please, please recommend me something to read that is going to make me want to put the book in the freezer. That's it. That's been Summerween for 2025. Crazy.